Smile for the camera. Watch this. You ready? Watch this.
Look.
Who's that?
Hey.
That's Hayes. That's Hayes. Hey guys, from a small rural town just outside of the Gainesville area here in Florida. In this episode, you're gonna get to meet my nieces and nephews, my sister-in-law, and my some of you have already met my first great nephew, Hayes. He's back here running around right now. But we got the super brand new one, Hudson, who's only about a month old. And no, I guess he's getting a little older than that, but he's tiny. He was born a little early, so he's still small. I've already got to see him. I was too excited and too emotional when I was first holding him to get any footage of him. This is what it's all about, guys. The long trip home, the 18-hour flights, the being away from Curt and all of that stuff. This is why. These two little tiny babies and getting to see my family. So, yep, I've got Permagrin. We're about to go grab some dinner. I'll be spending a few days here, and when I leave here, I'll be going a little farther north to meet up with my dad and my Aunt Betsy, who are just as important as this group of families are. So, it's a good time. I'm having a really good visit. I hope Curt, I know he's struggling with a little bit of a cold, but I hope he's having a good time with his cousin Mike back in Albania. And I'm sure they're finding something fun to get into. But for me, it's all about family right now.
Good morning, everyone. Well, we finally left Durrës, and we decided that we are going to be driving across Albania. It's about 100 miles, and it's a drive that takes us, well, through a couple small cities and through the farmland, along some really cool rivers. And what we discovered is we come through a area where there's a lot of plum trees and a lot of cherry trees, fascinating buildings, and of course there's some carriages drawn, or wagons pulled by donkeys and horses. But we've made it to the other side, and this right here that we're looking at is one of the oldest lakes on the planet. And so they claim. But there's a couple cities here that we want to see and we want to explore. It was about 100-mile drive across, couple-hour drive across the thing. And it looks like the culture over here is just a little bit different. We stopped up on the side of the road here before we get there. And you can see some of the delights they have here at this little booth. I think I might get some of these cranberries. Looks like they got some pickled vegetables and some nuts. So we stopped there, got some nuts, had a good laugh, met some of the local people. Fun time back on the road, guys.
All right, we had a nice dinner out. We're back at Molly's house now. And y'all have heard me say getting stuff delivered on the road is one of our hardest logistical challenges. So these are all my boxes of things I have to figure out how to fly back to Curt with. Houston, we have a problem. I think I bought too much stuff. I think Molly agrees. Oh boy. I did, just so y'all know, buy this huge fancy duffel bag thing. Ooh, I don't think it's enough. But
we have warm, cozy pajamas.
look at my fuzzy penguin pajamas. I'm excited. I'll make it fit. It's gonna fit. I can do it, guys. Y'all know I can do it. But I'm not gonna try till tomorrow, so I'll see y'all in the morning.
We have made it to our destination. It is Pohridek, and it is on the south side of this lake. And, well, to be honest with you, we kind of been flying by the seat of our pants. This was not something we planned on doing. We met somebody at Mike's hotel and said, this is a great place. And fast forward, here we are. So we need to find parking. We need to find a room for Mike, all that stuff. and it seems to be a little challenging, some one-way streets, and we kind of been wandering around down the roads. We had to back up down one. Anyway, it's been a little bit interesting. So as you can see, these blue lines are parking. It was 150 lek for 3 hours, and so we did that. There's no fee after 6 o'clock or through the night until 8 a.m. So where we are parked along this beautiful beach line is an option that we might end up taking, but we're still gonna try to find something else. All right, hotel number 1 we're trying. And this is along the water, and they do have some parking. It's kind of small. Mike did a little tour of the room and decided it is good enough for him. We have parking.
Good morning, guys. It is a very big, very important day back here in the United States. I'm going to get a legit, real haircut. Not me cutting it myself, not having a lady cut it that we can't even communicate because of the language. A legit, real haircut. What makes this the best is, guess who's cutting my hair? That's right, my niece Harley. We're here in her hair salon. And there we go.
All right, now that we've got the van parked, we've got the apartment, the next order of business is get some food. And we've been told the Koran, which looks like a little bit like a trout to me, is a lake specialty and supposed to be really good. And we were kind of walking along. Thank you so much. Hi.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. So we've decided to try the Taverna Indona Fish and Grill. And it's kind of a unique place. It's kind of what brought us in here. So we were already served up a little traditional reki, and I'm not sure what the deal is with this one, but this is gonna be Mike's first time trying it.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys. All right, we got some French fries, a salad. It looks like there's some cabbage and carrots, red cabbage, tomatoes, cucumbers, and lettuce. Nice looking salad. And some homemade bread. This is the starters. We also got a local wine. Mike ended up getting the local recommendation, the fish, and it looks tasty. And I went with the pork ribs. So I went conservative, Mike went all out. If it's good, then guess what I'm getting tomorrow?
And if not,
We'll see.
you can tell by the expression on my face here, but I think it was in a second. So here's some bones. Here's some bones. I'd say it's good, but not great.
While he was doing that, I was gnawing on some pork. Pork's pretty good. So, salad, pork, fries, fish, great wine, good times.
I've spent several days now here and seeing my sister-in-law and my niece and my nephew and their spouses, and getting to spend time and get to know my little great nephew Hayes, who's getting close to 2, so he's at such a great age, and getting to hold little Hudson when he's such a teeny tiny little guy. It's been a very special few days, and I'm sorry I get emotional every time I pull out of this driveway to leave. And I love our travel life. There is no doubt about that. I wouldn't trade it for anything. But this part is really hard. Pulling out of the driveway knowing I'm not gonna see these guys for quite a while. But oh, what a special few days it was, guys. A couple of dinners out. I had dinner over at my nephew Max's house one night, and then the last night everybody just came to my sister-in-law's house and we just hung out in basically our pajamas and ate pizza and told old stories, and Max had to prove he could still do back handsprings. Poor Harley trying to do headstands. Just goofing around, having really, really cool family time. So don't worry about the tears. They're happy tears because it was an amazing visit. And now we drive a little bit farther north. It's time to go see my Aunt Betsy and my dad and his wife Karen, and my little brother will be there, so I'll get to see him for a little bit. And what special memories I just made. I miss Curt and the kitties, but this has been a really nice trip home. So I gotta get rid of these tears so I can focus on driving up to Aunt Betsy's house. All right, I have been visiting with all kinds of family. My time in Florida is about winding down. It's my last day up north with my family, and we had to come to one of my favorite places that I will always come to when I come home to visit my dad and my Aunt Betsy and my dad's wife Karen, and that is a little town called Cedar Key on the Gulf of Mexico, a little bit west of Gainesville, Florida, if you're trying to find it on a map. But a beautiful little, used to be mainly a fishing village, but the culture has changed and it's a little artsy and a little touristy now. But as you can see with this fishing boat right here going behind us, it is still a fishing area. Lots of clams and oysters and crabs. And we're gonna go have some dinner. So we're back in the car, but I have to tell y'all how delicious our dinner was. And I have to start by telling you this is actually my second cousin's restaurant. So it was also visiting some family I haven't seen in a while, Jordan and Shannon. And that restaurant's a family affair, lots of cousins and aunts and stuff there. But we started with my Aunt Betsy and Karen. They had oysters, 2 different kind, Gulf oysters from right here in Cedar Key and some cold water oysters from up in New Brunswick. I could not resist the green fried tomatoes, which were perfect. And then we went into a traditional dish down here in Cedar Key, a palm salad that has, it's considered the dressing, but it has the texture of ice cream. It's like a big scoop of the most delicious ice cream in the world on top of it. Heart of palm, lots of fruit, and just delicious. Finished up with, we all had crab cakes, which were cooked to perfection. Now I am stuffed, and we are headed back to my aunt's house to relax. Perfect ending to my time visiting family here in Florida. Well, we've made it back home to the river house. This was my grandma and grandpa's river camp, and my Aunt Betsy lives here now. I've got many, many, many memories of playing in this front yard. Now, I'm gonna wind my time down here in Florida, giving y'all a beautiful view over the Swanee River.
Good morning. It's a bit of a rainy day, but we have been in Albania for almost 30 days. And the reason I know it's 30 days is because we bought insurance for 30 days and it's about to expire. So we're gonna walk around the town today, but the first order of business is get some auto insurance. All right, so we were able to get insurance. It was pretty quick and easy, just like last time. $65, we have another month. I don't think we'll be in Albania for another month, but we're covered anyway. So check the box. So you see a lot of guys, fishermen, catching fishing for these little sardines or whatever. You know, they'll be rod and reeling. And there's a trout right there, look at that. That's pretty color too.
That's a first.
That's a lot. See, those are just little rainbow trout or whatever, right?
See, the world is getting better now. Feel the change is coming on my way. Keeping hope as higher as I can. Moving on, embracing destiny. Carry on, despite all my past. Into tomorrow's bright and shiny days.
All right, after walking around for a bit, I do think we found it to the market area. Look at that big pile of fresh mint. And unfortunately, it's still raining, so a lot of people are covered up. That white asparagus looks delicious. Look at that white asparagus. That looks good.
I'm going ahead, no turning back. I'm moving on, no turning back. Up to the moon, there is no turning back.
All right, we just just walked along and all of a sudden looked to the right, and there's an alley going up the hill, and looks like the clothing part of the market. So you can see these shirts here, 200 leka shirts, that's $2. So just to give you an idea.
Carry on, despite where I was, to a future that I'd never known. I'll sing a song of victory ahead. Oh, I'm gonna dance to glories that I've made. Lying back, seeing through my time, imagining how life used to be.
Oh, look at that walnut. Yeah, walnuts, cherries, cashew. Yeah, cashew.
Just är spete, just är vanka.
Sweet and sour.
Going ahead, not turning back. I'm moving on, not turning back. Up to the moon, there is no turning back.
Also, I've noticed that walking around here that rotisserie chickens are quite popular, and a lot of the different stores and restaurants have the big old rotisserie chicken stands out front. And yeah, we're definitely in the market area. The bananas that we're seeing everywhere are from Ecuador. Now, if you guys watched this when we were in Ecuador, but Ecuador, I believe, is one of the largest producers in the world of bananas. And well, they have Ecuadorian bananas here in Albania.
Okay, guys. The past couple of videos, y'all have been doing some reminiscing with me back here with my family in Florida, while Curt is back in Albania with the van and the kitties. And then if you've seen those videos, you know this is an amazing time with my family, but it's very emotional when it's time to say goodbye. And I said goodbye to my dad last night. So here's a picture of my dad, because we don't pull the video cameras out, we just tell old stories and hang out. But now I just said goodbye to my Aunt Betsy. And it's the hard part, guys. But I'm okay. It was a good visit. It's just a little emotional when it's time to leave. And we're headed to Orlando. We have a few doctor's appointments, which I will fill you on when we get down there, what's going on with that and how that all worked out. But we have some heart checkups while we're here in the States. And a pretty cool story that goes along with that. So I'll share that with you guys in a little bit when I'm not so emotional. And then spend one more night in Orlando and an early flight in the morning back to Curt. So I'm super happy to get back to Curt and my kitties. And it's been a really good family visit and friend visit here. Catching up with the people that are important. But almost time to go home to the van.
Good morning, everyone. Well, we have finished our time here in another beautiful spot. This was the camp spot right here, and I just pulled off the blocks, but we were right here by the lake. Mike had a room up in the hotel right there for $40 a night, and that included breakfast for two, so we had a nice breakfast. I was able to use his hot shower, nice room, lakefront, and included the parking, so it worked out really good. We just strolled around the town and had a fun time, just really kind of exploring and getting to know the little bits and pieces there is to Albania, trying some of the different foods and the coffees and all that type of stuff. But we gotta go get snow, so we're headed on the road. I think we're gonna take a little different route back this time. We're gonna try a little adventure route. Don't know where it's gonna go. It's or the condition of the road. It's gonna be a little longer ride back, but we're up for an adventure.
If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you guys know when we put out new videos. And Don't forget, you can always follow us over on Instagram to see what's going on in between videos. Cheers, guys!